Tonight on UCentral News. War in Israel. Attacks over the last week and a half have escalated. What role does the United States play into this war? Coming soon, a movie with a big-name director that takes place in small-town Oklahoma hits the theaters this weekend. CJ Craig has more in store. And finally, the Bronco football team was back in town and put on a show for the home crowd over fall break. UCentral's Ray Robinson will give us the full sports rundown. All of this and more happening now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Mark Lowe.
I'm Emma Birch, and welcome to this edition of UCentral News. Starting off tonight, the conflict in Israel is escalating by the minute, but the question is starting to rise, what will the U.S. involvement be? One UCO professor has insight on the matter. Here is a warning that some of these videos and images may be disturbing.
Over 2 weeks ago, a surprise attack against Israel by Hamas from the Gaza Strip has caused a military and humanitarian crisis.
When it comes to the most recent conflict, the world is shocked. But in fact, perhaps most Israelis and Palestinians and many who follow events in the Middle East are not shocked.
UCO's Dr. Hussam Muhammad, who was raised in the West Bank and a Palestinian, says the attack was a surprise because of the secret plan.
The most shocking, perhaps, is nobody expected that they would be that successful. And I'm talking about successful in terms of operation, not approving the conduct itself, especially if targeting civilians. Any targeting of civilians on both sides, I have to say, whether Palestinians or Israelis, is amount to crimes against humanity.
To add to the intrigue of this conflict, many are asking just how impactful can the U.S. be during this critical time?
The United States is responsible to a large degree for the absence of peace. So last night, if I recall, there was an interview with Biden on 60 Minutes in which he mentioned that we're not going to go into Gaza, or I doubt that we will do that. So then what's the purpose of moving these kinds of aircrafts? Also, Eisenhower is being moved to that direction.
A large American military presence in the region, Dr. Muhammad expresses his concern of a larger conflict.
So what I'm afraid of is that the United States is going to be dragged into another war without recognizing the consequences of that war.
I'm Emma Birch, UCentral News.
Facial recognition may soon find its way into your daily operations. Airports, cruise lines, theme parks, and concert venues are all leaning into facial recognition technology for a more convenient and secure check-in process. Carnival Cruise Lines and dozens of airports nationwide are able to compare passenger faces to their passport photographs that are on file. This allows passengers to admittance without needing to show a physical passport or boarding pass. Some locations claim the swap to facial recognition technology has sped up the check-in process by as much as 40%. However, certain hotel industries are not making the swap as quickly. Companies like Marriott have tested facial recognition technology in the past and decided they have no immediate plans to adopt the new process.
And with this weather, it is quite chilly outside. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit warmer, but hey, I'll take the fall weather.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely that game on Saturday, too, that I was at, absolutely cold that morning, and the last couple of days have been cold, too. So, Destiny, we're going to go to you now. What's that weather going to look like for the next foreseeable future?
It is starting to cool down. As you guys probably noticed, the weather is starting to tend to be more cool. Today was one of those cool days. The high today was 58 degrees, and then it was really sunny still, so the sun was nice and out with that cool weather. There was a bit of wind, though. The wind was blowing north at 7 miles per hour, but then there were those higher gusts of 20 miles per hour every once in a while. It was a bit humid, too. The humidity rate was 44%, and it currently feels like it is 55 degrees outside. And then as we move on tonight, we still see it's going to cool down even more. It's going to be 42, which is some of the lower temperatures we've been seeing in the evenings recently. And then the winds are going to be slowing down a bit as well. They'll blow southwest at 6 miles per hour, but the humidity rate will still be 44%. So we can see it looks like fall might actually be here. And it looks like the weather is going to be staying cooler for a while. That is all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you for that, Destiny. And it is time to start planning your spring and summer classes as enrollment starts soon. Be sure to meet with your advisor before enrollment. Priority enrollment starts October 30th for graduate students, so check your student email for your dates to enroll.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and the Office of Information here at UCO is putting on an escape room to educate people on what to do if your computer gets hacked. October 18th and 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., you and a team up to 4 people can take on the role of technicians to aid an information security team with vital information to save an employee's computer. If you wish to participate, registration is required.
The Max Chambers Library will be hosting an open house in the Innovation Studio on the third Wednesday of each month, beginning this Wednesday, October 18th. This month, the library will highlight the Innovation Studio's button maker. From 5 p.m. until 6 p.m., community members are welcome to explore all that the studio has to offer and leave with the one-of-a-kind button made by the studio.
And it's feeling a little chilly outside. Will it stay?
Destiny Pittman has our full look at weather when we come back.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right. When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Welcome back, everyone. We saw that today was one of those nice, cool days outside. So let's see how the state is doing with this cooler weather. So as we start up in Guyman, we see up in Guyman it is 67 degrees currently. Down in Woodward, 59, 61 in Clinton and Enid. And as we move over down to Altus, it is 64 degrees. Lawton is 64 as well. And then Ardmore, 62, as well as McAllister. And then it is going to be 66 over down in Idabel. And then the Oklahoma City and Edmond area, both are going to be 58 degrees, so a little cooler compared to most of the other parts of the state. And then 62 up in Ponca, 64 in Tulsa, and then 63 in Miami. But as we move on, we see those temperatures are going to be dropping a lot more tonight. It's going to be very cool. We're seeing a lot of the high 30s and low 40s. So up in Guyman, 39, 41 in Woodward, 37 in Clinton, and then 41 in Altus and Lawton. And then over in Ardmore, 39, 37 in McAllister. The Oklahoma City area isn't going to get too cold. It's going to be about 42 degrees tonight. And then Idabel is going to be at 40. And then Enid, 39, 37 up in Ponca, 41 in Tulsa, and then 37 in Miami. I know that I am so excited that the weather is starting to finally cool down. I love that cooler weather, that nice sweater weather. Emma, Mark, how are you guys feeling about this cooler weather?
Very excited. I had my first cup of soup this weekend, and it was amazing.
And you know it's fall whenever the soup comes out. I'm kind of in a similar boat. I've been starting to wear hoodies, sweatpants. It is phenomenal. It is my favorite season out there right now, so it is phenomenal.
Far. Thank you, Destiny. Well, coming up, an Oklahoma movie hits the big screen this weekend featuring lots of known faces.
CJ Craig has your social media update coming up right after this.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCENTRAL News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCENTRAL and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back, Broncos, to your social media update. My name is CJ Craig, and we're going to be diving into the world of social media news. Let's get right into it. Hollywood megastar Bruce Willis was confirmed to not be totally verbal amidst a battle with his dementia diagnosis. The 68-year-old Hollywood star's condition was announced by Willis's close friend, Glenn Gordon Caron, which Willis has worked with in the past. He was diagnosed with aphasia back in 2022, which then progressed to full-on dementia earlier this year. Caron said that even though his health and language skills are deteriorating, he's still Bruce through and through. And Adobe has announced new AI tools in development that will allow users to take more control over their creative projects. Adobe showcased 11 new types of AI tools at their Max conference last week, ranging from photo manipulation to real-time translation software that can translate any spoken language from a video or audio source. Adobe has even announced a fully interactive AI dress, allowing the users to change colors and patterns using SmartWear fabric. The products are expected to launch sometime next year. And from million-dollar toys to legendary retirements, the glitz and glam of Hollywood continues to move forward. CNN's David Daniel has the latest.
Red 5 standing by.
A Star Wars X-Wing filming model has sold at auction for more than $3.1 million. The original 20-inch starfighter model, one of just 4 built for close-ups and used in the final battle scenes, was discovered in a box in the model maker's garage after having been thought lost for decades. Heritage Auctions calls it the pinnacle of Star Wars artifacts to ever reach the market. Michael Caine has confirmed his retirement from acting. The 2-time Oscar winner made the announcement on BBC Radio 4's Best of Today podcast. The 90-year-old actor says The Great Escaper, which came out this month, wraps up his acting career, which began on the stage in the early 1950s.
The Navajo Nation is the largest tribe in the United States, 27,000 square miles that we have to patrol. To offer the basic police services, we would need 500 officers. We have 180.
Quite frankly, our lives are at stake.
Which puts even more pressure on Navajo Police Class 57. The docuseries follows 28 recruits working to protect and serve their community amid systemic issues affecting their nation. Navajo Police Class 57 debuts Tuesday on HBO. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And speaking of Hollywood, an Oklahoma story hits the big screen this Saturday, and it has some big names to be on the watch out for. Killers of the Flower Moon is Martin Scorsese's newest film and is set to release this weekend. The film follows the story of Osage tribe members during the 1920s and the murder of 20 of their members due to conflicts about oil. The film was shot and produced entirely in Oklahoma and features some big-name actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, Lily Gladstone, and Robert De Niro. The film is set to release on October 20th in theaters all across America. And you guys, it is awesome to finally see the movie scene in Oklahoma starting to really kick up, you know. It's kind of small out here in Oklahoma, but it's really about getting those bigger projects out there.
Yeah, I'm really excited. My dad and I have been waiting for this movie for a while to come out, so we're really excited to go see it.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that I've definitely wanted to see ever since I heard the title and heard especially that it was in Oklahoma and about something that happened in Oklahoma. So definitely something I'm going to be wanting to watch here soon.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, CJ. Coming up, UCO's women volleyball continues to dominate the MIAA.
The Broncos came off a loss
UCENTRAL'S Ray Robinson has all the details on how they played in Missouri over the weekend.
UCentral Sports is back with your football update both in high school and college. UCO's fight to turn around the season continued as they took on Lincoln, Missouri at home on Saturday. Ray Robinson has your sports after this.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome to UCentral Sports. I'm Ray Robinson. We are narrowing toward the end of the football season for our fellow Broncos. Game 7 was at home at Chad Richardson Stadium on Saturday, and UCentral's Mark Lowe was there with an in-depth look into the game.
The Broncos came off a loss against Northwest Missouri State 2 weeks ago, and they looked to take out some of the frustration, and boy did they. The Chos started the game hot, pinning the Lincoln Blue Tigers deep in their own territory on the opening kickoff and managed to secure a good few tackles for loss, but Lincoln drew first blood with a 23-yard field goal. The Broncos came roaring back, going the distance in 4 plays and a 24-yard dot to Telrell Davis from quarterback Dawson Hurl to take the 7-3 lead over the Blue Tigers. The Broncos defense got a stop, and then the offense turned things around with another quick 4-play score on an 11-yard pass and a fantastic catch by Darius Melton for the touchdown to make it 14-3 after 1. Remember that frustration I mentioned earlier? Well, it sure fueled the Chos in the second. They started it off with a pass to the big tight end Oscar Hammond for 6. The Chos defense got hot in the second as well, getting a quick 3-and-out and getting 3 tacked onto the score by a kick from Nicky Quevedo. The Broncos capped off the second with a quick dart to Madison Ridgeway, making it 31-3 headed into the half. The Broncos came out swinging again in the third, getting the first points of the second half on a huge 22-yard run by Jalen Cottrell. Lincoln said enough was enough, and they took the ball down the field in 5 plays and tacked on 7 for themselves, but another big play by Hurl and Cottrell made it 45-10 headed into the fourth quarter. By this point in the game, the backups were starting to get some reps, like former UCentral sports anchor and Bronco running back Peyton Scott, who fought his way to the end zone for 6. Mason Williams also found his way into the end zone for the knockout blow to the Blue Tigers, making the score 59-10 with 2 minutes left in the game. The Broncos win in dominant fashion, 17-59, with only a few games left in the season. They'll be back home on November 4th to take on Washburn for Military Appreciation Day. Ray, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mark. A job well done by our Broncos. They have an opportunity to even out their series record as they take on Northeastern State University this Saturday at 6 p.m. in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Let's wish them good luck in hopes of turning the season around. The UCO volleyball team went undefeated this past weekend. These wins were all on the road against two Missouri teams. Their most impressive win was against Northwest Missouri, going 3-0. They gave up no series to the Bearcats, with Mallory Cohen leading the way with 18 kills total in the game. They continued their dominance in the state of Missouri with a tough series of games against Missouri Western. This game went to 5 sets as Missouri Western proved that they weren't going down without a fight. Missouri took the first and fourth game of the series of the matchup. And it's safe to say that they have great momentum going into their next two matchups, as both games will be back at Hamilton Fieldhouse, with the first one being against Nebraska Kearney on Friday at 6 p.m. The following game will be on Saturday at 2 p.m. as they take on Fort Hays State. Best wishes to them with this impressive record. And we are in the home stretch of high school football season as well. Conference games are being played, so playoff is just around the corner. Edmond North and Edmond Memorial both had their bye week. So let's talk about the teams that was in action. Santa Fe remained undefeated in conference games by going 4-0 as they beat Norman North in a close but fun game. Check out this 35-yard return by junior Demarius Robinson. Might need to do some family research and see if that's my cousin, because, you know, Robinson. Anyway, they end the game 52-49. And Deer Creek also took care of business in a shutout win against Lawton, winning the game 49-7. Both Edmond teams all came out victorious on Friday. Next Monday, I'll be back with a rundown on all Edmond teams that were there in action on Friday. And hopefully, we'll have a clear vision into some playoff seedings. And to end this segment with some fun sports news, pro wrestling fans, if you don't have any plans tonight, we got you covered. WWE is in town with their flagship show, Monday Night Raw. And they will be live at the Paycom Arena with a lot of familiar faces will be there. Be there tonight at 6:30 p.m. Doors open. You definitely don't want to miss out on this. Now, I think it's no secret I'm like a huge WWE fan. And my question is to Mark and Emma, could you guys see yourself going to a wrestling show in 2023?
The Redders, Native American.
I could see myself if there were like the 90s wrestlers like Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, Cold Stone Steve Austin, like all those like, but I don't know about now. I don't know if I would pay money to go today's world of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. I would go, no questions asked. If my ticket was paid for, I am there, nothing else needed. I'm like you, though. I definitely like the older wrestlers better. You know, if The Undertaker was there, not complaining. That's my all-time favorite. But I'm definitely liking the newer guys, too. John Cena and The Rock are back, so definitely a lot of good names in WWE this year.
Very exciting.
Indigenous Peoples Day Festival was over the weekend. UCENTRAL'S Sam Kozlowski went to the celebration.
And Destiny Pittman has our last look at weather when we come back. Stay with us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. A solar eclipse illuminated Red Earth's celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day over the weekend. UCENTRAL'S Sam Kozlowski went to the festival. Here's what he had to say.
The Red Earth Native American Art Museum in downtown Oklahoma City hosted their Fall Festival in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day.
Despite over 98% of indigenous populations being wiped out in the last 200 years, America's rich native history remains strong with Red Earth.
The parade and art market were capped off with a youth powwow demonstrating the many forms of indigenous ceremonial dances and carrying on the legacy of their ancestors.
We have got a whole bunch of people here and they are having a blast. And just the youth powwow itself has been a really big turnout with all the kids coming down to be able to experience the culture and be a part of it.
Amidst the eclipse's celestial spectacle, this year's Fall Fest has not only celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day, but shined a light on the enduring spirit of the Native American community. Reporting from the Botanical Gardens, Sam Kozlowski, UCentral News.
If you're a fan of the Netflix show Squid Games and want to attempt an actual obstacle course, well, you're in luck. Netflix will soon be opening locations that will allow fans to fully immerse themselves into their favorite Netflix shows. The company's vice president of consumer products made the announcement during an interview with Bloomberg this week. They'll be called Netflix House and will have rotating installations. Fans will not only be able to shop for themed products, but also will be able to eat their food based on the show and play some games too. The company is aiming to launch the first 2 locations in the U.S. in 2025 before expanding globally. However, the exact locations have yet to be announced. The company has previously launched dozens of pop-up locations, but Netflix House will be a permanent location. And speaking of being outside, because we just saw Sam out there with the eclipse, which was so cool, I got to witness it. It's cold.
It is.
It's a little chilly.
It is very, very chilly out there. Again, fall is here, finally.
Yeah.
We're not having 100-degree days anymore. Hopefully. Destiny, any hotter days coming up this week?
Tonight
Yes,
on UCentral News.
we are going to have some warmer days later on in the week, but as of right now, it's that cooler weather. It's not going to be as cold as it was today. We are still going to see some 70s, which isn't too hot either. We can see that it's also going to be pretty sunny this week, so there's no chance of storms or any rain. It's going to be a nice, clear week. Today the high was 58. It was pretty cold. It was a little chilly day. It's going to be the coldest day of the week. The temperatures are going to warm up just a little bit, but not too much. And that's going to be in the lowest 42, and that's going to be the lowest it gets tonight. And then tomorrow, that temperature, like I said, is going to go up just a little. The high is going to be 73. The low will be 55. And then on Wednesday, it goes up even a little more. 79 for the high, 50 for the low. Another cool day. And then as we go into Thursday, we can see it's still in that 70s range of temperatures. 77 for the high, 52 for the low, another day of sun. And as we move on to the weekend, it's going to be the perfect weather to be outside. It's going to be sunny and it's going to be not too warm, but also not too hot. The high for Friday is going to be 80 with a low of 54. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be 52 both days. And then 57 is going to be the low for Saturday, and then 64 is going to be the low for Sunday. So as you can see, that warmer weather isn't completely gone, but it's not going to be too cold outside either. We're seeing a lot of the 70s to 80s range, but it looks like that really cold weather that we saw today and this weekend is going to be gone for the rest of the week, but it might be able to come back next week. I know that I'm excited. It's going to be like cooler, not too hot. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about it. Don't like the sun though. I definitely got a little bit burnt on Saturday on my face, so still kind of trying to deal with that. But I'm definitely happy that the cooler weather's here. Again, I'll take 82 over 102 any day of the week.
Fair enough, fair enough. As long as it's not, like you said, 102, I can deal with the 80s. I would like to be about like just 70 and 60s, like actual fall weather, but hey, I'll take it. It's better than 90s, right?
It's pumpkin patch weather and
Yes.
raking leaves weather, and I am here for it all day.
Absolutely. Well, that is all the time we have today. I'm Emma Birch.
And I'm Mark Lowe. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of UCentral News. Have a great day.